Please get ready for a dictation of material from Lok Sabha debate held on 15th May 1952, taken from Lok Sabha website. This is part 1. 5 seconds. Start. Mr. Speaker, sir, I do not know whether to congratulate you or the House on this occasion. It is a very high honor for any person to be, as Speaker, the head of this great Parliament, and if I may say so, it is an honor and a privilege for us in the House to have you in that chair. We are a mixed assembly here, mixed in the sense that some have been here not in this particular parliament, but functioning in this chamber for a large number of years, some for a few years, and many are newcomers. Those who are new to this house naturally have no experience of you. You have become so much a part of this house and its proceedings. I have been functioning in various capacities now for 5 years or so in this house. I was in no previous house and I know of no other speaker. Whenever the question of speaker comes to my mind, it is associated with you and you only. During the past few years, those who have been functioning in the provincial parliament and before in the assembly have had a good deal of experience of seeing how you carried on the work of this house, how in all gentleness and yet with all firmness you kept us erring people in order without the slightest favor or partiality to anyone, and you impressed us with that impartiality, with that ability, and with that dignity which should attach to that high office which you occupy. We are entering a new phase and the new parliament is meeting. It is of the greatest advantage to this parliament and to this house that you, with all your experience, and there are there to guide us, and if we go astray, to pull us back, and where necessary to admonish us and to chide us. I would beg to express again my sense of great pleasure, and if I may say so, on behalf of the entire house, their sense of pleasure at this election, and to assure you that even though we may err often, we shall always come back to the right path when told by you to do so. Sir, as the Honorable Prime Minister and leader of the House said just now, I am one of the newcomers to this house, and so I may offend some of the rules. Unfortunately, the rules of procedure and conduct of business have not been supplied to us. And if I commit any breach, I hope you will pardon me for that. Sir, I congratulate you. I am the defeated candidate, and yet none is happier on your election than myself. In the best traditions of Parliament, a gracious custom prevails by which, where two candidates are proposed for the speakership, each candidate votes for the other candidate. I have observed that custom by voting for you. I entirely agree with the leader of the House that we are entering a new phase. We are the pioneers. As the President said in his recent statement, in this country there were some republics, but we know nothing about their procedure. Now we are again trying to travel on the path, and we are striving to build up a new republic, but a new republic under modern conditions, works and functions through conventions and by parliamentary procedure. Our parliamentary procedure, as I understand it, has been substantially taken from that of the House of Commons, where they decide things by discussion. For the purpose of such discussion, there is a party in office and there is an official opposition. I belong to the small minority. I assume, and you, sir, will confirm if my assumption is correct, that in many matters on which our rules are deficient or silent, we shall be following some of the healthy customs of the House of Commons. The House of Commons had taken more than 500 years to evolve their procedure, and after that long and troublesome experience, they have come to certain conclusions. We too shall traverse our path guided by the light of those conventions. Unfortunately, some of these conventions have become a casualty even at the very first meeting of our house. As I understand, the English Convention, when a speaker is to be proposed, some of the backbenchers are selected for proposing and seconding the name of the speaker. Why do they do so? Because by observing this convention, a sort of assurance is given to the minority that their interests will be protected and that the speaker will deal with the minority in an impartial manner. I do not want to quote books because it is not necessary now. Unfortunately, in this house, the leader of the house, thought it fit to propose your name, and another honorable minister thought it advisable to second it. Stop.